Welcome to Ranger Reviews, a web series where we look at episodes of the TV show Power Rangers and then discuss them. Today we're exploring the 87th episode of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, as well as the 27th episode of Season 2 titled The Power Transfer Part 1. We begin this episode unlike any before. News reporters are in a downtown city rushing to telephone boxes to tell the news in multiple languages. We pan across them to find the one speaking English, who says that they've selected the 3 Angel Grove teens for the World Peace Summit. They are... Newspaper flying onto the screen! In the youth center, everyone is around the television waiting for the announcement of the 3 teens, and Tommy is wearing green. Who gave him the right? Bulk and Skull are also expecting to be picked because Swiss chocolate or something, I don't know. Then, the teens have been selected. And they are Jason, Trini, and Zach. First of all, let's say this. They call him Jason Lee, which isn't correct. His name is Jason Scott. Secondly, they mispronounced Trini as Trini. Also, is anyone shocked about this? You really shouldn't be. They haven't really been on the show for like 20 episodes. The other Ranger teens are though, and they hurry off to the park to meet up with the 3. Then, at sunset, they meet up with Jason, Zach, and Trini, who have been shot from a distance as silhouettes. Jesus. Whatever. Zed is going to take this opportunity to kill them. At the command center, the 6 talk to Zordon when the alarms go off, and Alpha says that a massive weapon is being energized. According to Zordon, it's because Zed has weaponized a giant machine called Serpentera, and he plans to attack while they're at the Peace Summit. Then Zordon introduces Tor to them, even though we literally saw it 2 episodes ago. He also says that he needs to choose 3 new Rangers and they need to do a power transfer. Apparently, the power transfer can only be complete by the Sword of Light from the deserted planet. He gives Tommy a map and a ring to retrieve the Sword of Light. All 6 morph, ready to roll out, via lightning legs. Goldar lets Zed know that the Rangers have left Earth, going towards the furthest galaxy at light speed, and Zed automatically knows that they're going after the Sword of Light. He says it's time to destroy the Sword of Light, and he tells Babu and Squat to take the sleep machine to Earth to knock out everyone so no one can become new Rangers. Then Squat hits Babu in the face with the gas, knocking him out. Then they just leave. Now, the gas is spreading, knocking out innocent people in the park. We see Serpentera going across the moon, and inside we see that Zed and Goldar are on their way to the deserted planet. Speaking of which, on that planet, the 6 Rangers land completely covered by a red filter. Billy pulls out the map saying that they're heading to the center of the city, and he has a drawing of the statue that they're looking for. Then they see Serpentera, and Jason says he'll call on his Zord to handle the giant dragon robot. Meanwhile, at school, Aisha, Adam, and Rocky walk around talking about how they just transferred to Angel Grove High for absolutely no reason whatsoever. They're finding their lockers, and of course, Bulk and Skull find Aisha to sexually harass her. Then, the sleep gas seeps into the halls, knocking people out and narrowly missing the 3 Stone Canyon teens, who literally just walk away from it. Then, Bulk and Skull get knocked out as they rip Aisha's locker door off, spilling stuff onto the ground, which makes 0 sense because it's clearly supposed to be the first time Aisha has ever been to her locker. Whatever, the 3 duck down to pick the stuff up before being teleported to the command center by Alpha. Zordon and Alpha catch them up on what's going on and they find the sleep machine, so they'll be teleported in behind the cloud somehow. On the deserted planet, the Red Dragon Thunder Zord rides the chariot made of the other Zords along the side of Serpentera, and Zed sends in putties because of a distress signal from Earth about the sleep machine. Adam, Rocky, and Aisha fight the putties, and Karen Ashley is already getting better at this fighting thing. Then the putties tie them up to a tree. This is like the ninja encounter all over again. Serpentera lands, standing tall and firing a laser at the abandoned buildings before the Red Dragon Thunderzord in warrior mode looks up at it like it's gonna do anything. Serpentera knocks him down, going to go crush him, and Tor comes out of nowhere, taking the Zord into its shell to protect it. But then Serpentera just decides to step on Tor instead. Kind of cruel, Power Rangers. Then Serpentera's eyes darken and its foot releases off of Tor, who just scuttles away. Meanwhile, the other 5 Rangers are looking for the statue and the sword before Tommy just stumbles upon it pretty easily. He calls the others over. Tommy tries to pull the Sword of Light out, but he can't, and then Jason just waltzes into frame being like, we gotta go. So Billy fires at the sword trying to loosen it, and now all 6 are pulling on it while Serpentera is just straight up annihilating random orbs that are floating in the sky. Then Zed yells at Goldar for losing the Rangers, and he says that he'd lose his brains if he weren't sitting on them, which is a fantastic line. Then Serpentaro just starts dissolving the entire planet, and the Rangers are just struggling with this dumbass sword. Alpha tells Zordon that Rocky and the others are captured now, and Zed says goodbye to the Power Rangers. To be continued. This episode is chock full of exposition, which is a bit much at times, but honestly, at least it's not boring or repetitive. What the writers are working with here, which is effectively trying to staff a 6-person principal cast with 3 people, is nothing short of amazing. As a child, I saw this episode many times and I never once noticed that Jason, Zach, and Trini weren't even ever there thanks to the writing and the editing tricks. Moreover, Zed has a giant badass dragon that just destroyed an entire freaking planet. That's pretty cool. So how will next time fare? Find out then, but until then, may the power protect you.